I mean, we just talked about the plane. One thing that really bothers me about this, besides the complete corruption, accepting a foreign gift, using it after the presidency, it is blatant. It's a blatant gift and blatant corruption, and against the Constitution. That we know. But the idea that we're going to have an American president fly around in Air Force One, being a gift from a foreign government, particularly one that's so adversarial to so many of our allies and around the world, that's where the American president is going to fly out of, is a gift from Qatar. I mean, it's crazy that is where we are right now as a country, and so much of the Republican Party essentially has decided to go full MAGA.
You'll be on like a plane from Qatar, on a phone from Russia, wearing clothes from, I don't know, who's another enemy that we have? Just all he does is placate our enemies while being very, very mean to our allies. Like, there was a tweet yesterday. It was insane. So next to the Vladimir Putin tweet that Trump sent out yesterday, below that was him talking about 50% tariffs on the EU. So like the dichotomy between the way he treats our allies versus our enemies is wild.
I mean, Canada. I mean, what kind of an idiot tweets out constantly that Canada should be our 51st state? I mean, the level of disrespect. I mean, Canada has traditionally been one of our closest allies. They share our northern border. They are part of our culture in the Americas. They're our neighbor, and we're goading them because we want them to be the 51st state. It's just ridiculous.
It's wild. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it, Representative.
Yeah, anytime, man.
All right, I want to play a little comparison game. Let's compare this Republican representative who straight up admitted to his constituents during a town hall that he never read Trump's bill. He never read the bill. Let's compare him to one of our Democratic representatives, Robert Garcia, who I have on the show in just a few minutes to expose Trump and Elon Musk's brazen corruption. We'll get to that. But first, check out this article that reads, Republican Mike Flood grilled during town hall. Now, if you guys didn't know, there was a secret hidden provision in this big, ugly bill, whatever you want to call it. There was a secret hidden provision that makes it impossible for courts to hold any government official in contempt without going through Congress, meaning the Trump administration would get away with everything because Congress is currently Republican. He gets asked about this, and check out his answer.
Vision was unknown to me when I voted for the bill.
Okay, next question. Next question.
I am not going to hide the truth. This provision was unknown to me when I voted for that bill. And when I found out that provision was in the bill, I immediately reached out to my Senate counterparts and told them of my concern.
After you voted? Bro, after you voted, you reached out to your Senate counterparts and talked about your concern. This is wild. He's admitting that he didn't read the bill, and this was by design from a lot of the Republican leaders like Mike Johnson. The bill is over 1,000 pages, and it was introduced hours before the vote, meaning nobody could have realistically read it. And that's not me trying to bail this guy out. That's me saying the Republicans' plot is so insidious that they tried to sneak this provision in, and now this guy is trying to walk it back. It's just wild. Mike Flood faced intense questioning from people about the big, beautiful bill. You know, who's better to talk to about the bill than a sitting Democratic representative who's been having these debates on the floor? And really quickly, if you want to help show the representatives in Congress the power we have on these platforms, make sure you drop a blue heart, drop a like. It shows representatives that, hey, your voice is being heard by hundreds of thousands of people whenever you come on these shows. I get comments like this, Adam, I've been watching since 200,000 subs and just realized I wasn't subscribed. So subscribe, watch until the end, and check this out. I am joined today by Representative Robert Garcia, who represents California's 42nd Congressional District, one of my favorite congressmen. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm good, thank you.
We have no time to waste. I say we jump in and talk about this big, ugly bill that Trump is trying to pass. How are you communicating with your constituents about what's inside this bill?
I think we should be very clear about what it actually is. I mean, this is essentially a massive wealth transfer from working class people, middle class Americans, to the ultra rich in this country. So if you are a billionaire, if you are a millionaire, if you are a large multinational corporation in this country, then you are benefiting from this bill. If you're an average American, you're not getting any sort of benefit. In fact, if you're on Medicaid, you might lose your Medicaid, 13 million Americans plus. If you're on some type of food assistance or know people that are, 3 to 4 million kids might get kicked off of some type of food assistance. They are gutting so much of what we love about this country and the services, and putting healthcare at risk for a lot of people. And so this bill hopefully will get changed dramatically in the Senate, but even then, it's going to be a giveaway to billionaires in this country.
And yeah, the government has to maintain a certain amount of revenue to keep everything going. So when you're slashing taxes for the richest people, you have to find something else to slash, like Medicaid, like food assistance. So is it fair to say that this money is directly being redistributed from our most vulnerable populations to people like Elon Musk?
Yes, I mean, this is a redistribution of wealth. It's the largest wealth transfer from working class and middle class people in American modern history. But here's the crazy part. It wasn't enough to take and to steal from working people, to take people's health care. They knew that that wouldn't actually give them as much money as they want to give to billionaires. So they're actually also increasing the national debt.
Yep.
So not only from a fiscal conservative perspective that Republicans like to say they are, they're increasing the national debt for future generations, and they are taking away from. Those are the concerns.
Did you read that article, the study that over 40 different regulatory investigations into Elon Musk's companies have been halted, or at least they're being slow walked or kind of lying dormant after Trump fired the inspectors general? Did you hear about that?
Yeah, of course. I think first of all, Elon Musk should have been nowhere near federal agencies. I'm glad that lately he has, been thinking about stepping back. We'll see if he does that or not. But the fact that Elon Musk basically spent $250 million to get Trump and Republicans elected. Now all the investigations that were serious investigations against his companies have now been essentially eliminated, or they've gone away, is corruption. This is the most corrupt administration in U.S. history. Donald Trump is corrupt. Donald Trump is a felon. He is essentially stealing money from the poor to give to the rich. His family is benefiting by launching these meme coins and accepting foreign gifts and bribes and opening up hotels around the world while he's making deals with these same companies. And so we should call out the corruption for what it is and be very clear that we have the most corrupt person in office right now as president. We've got to do everything we can to slow this agenda and stop him when we can.
It's absolute brazen corruption. And once you zoom out and you look at this new bill that makes Elon Musk money, saves him money actually, and then you look at the regulatory investigations being paused, you can clearly see why Elon invested all this money. It's for return on investment. He got an amazing return on investment for his business. How do you describe to the average person who thinks that, here's something, I've been to like 40 to 50 different Trump rallies, and something I do is I go there and I respectfully debate and push back. And something they always say is, oh, both sides are corrupt. There's corruption on both sides. A lot of people think this way. So how would you debunk that?
Well, let's be really clear. I'm not sure where against Joe Biden, the courts never ruled that Joe Biden did anything that was illegal or that was corrupt. He wasn't convicted of anything, unlike Donald Trump, who's been convicted multiple times over for numerous types of crimes. And so I think we should be really clear about that. Republicans will lie, cheat, and steal their way to power, will take from those that are working class folks. And look, the Democrats and as a party, we have a lot of work to do. We have a major messaging concerns that we have to address. We have to be more unified. We've got to reach out to all parts of the party. And that work is happening every day. But there's no comparison. Democrats have traditionally been for expanding healthcare, for tax cuts for middle class folks, for strengthening the social safety net around Social Security and Medicare and childcare and student loan debt relief. While Republicans have been almost just fixated on how much money can we give billionaires, more and more money for our donor class, for the powerful, for the elite. That's what the Republican Party has been about. And we should be very clear about that. And on the corruption side, there has been no more corrupt person than Donald Trump in office. And by the way, I would include all of the presidents. Donald Trump is unique. If you look back at even other Republican presidents that we've had, that level of corruption didn't exist. This is something different where he is attacking the judiciary and all of our institutions.
Yeah, even if you just look at Trump coin or looking at the jet from Qatar, those two things, when has any Democrat ever done anything comparable to that?
Could you imagine Barack Obama accepting a $400 million plane from a foreign government? The right would have lost their shit. They would have gone ballistic.
Could you imagine Barack Obama doing that the same week he posted a photo of himself as the Pope, like an AI photo? It would be game over.
It'd be game over. You just can't do that. We were upset about Barack Obama's damn tan suit, and the right lost their minds. Donald Trump does things daily that Barack Obama could never do on any given day, because they would have just destroyed him for being unprofessional or unpresidential. Donald Trump's unpresidential every day.
Yeah, it's some insane double standards. I want to ask you about his Vladimir Putin tweet. He said yesterday, what Vladimir Putin doesn't realize is that if it weren't for me, many bad things would have happened to Russia. And I mean, really bad. He's playing with fire. This seems to be the most explicit admission we've gotten yet that he's been shielding Russia from certain consequences while also pulling back weapons and intelligence sharing from Ukraine. Like, while this is happening, Russia is launching the largest drone strikes possible against Ukraine. So I just want to ask you, like, what's your read of Trump's situation? Is he, do you read it as a malignant narcissist who thought he could have a personal relationship with Putin and now he's realizing Putin's a bad faith actor?
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, he's the biggest narcissist in the country, first of all, obviously, the world. Yeah, I mean, he thinks that he alone can fix everything. I mean, we already know that he has been incredibly weak against Russian Putin. I mean, there's no question. He basically does whatever in the past, whatever Putin has wanted. He has essentially allowed Russia to gain strength against Ukraine. And we should be clear. I mean, Trump's now complaining because he's hearing from folks in his orbit that, oh, Russia's attacked. Well, what do you think Russia was going to do when you wouldn't stand up to Putin when you got into office and through the campaign? Putin has used Donald Trump as a puppet, has used Donald Trump for his agenda, and clearly is out to do whatever it can to destroy Ukraine. We have stood tough and with Ukraine as Democrats, as progressives. We know it's the right thing to do. Russia wants to dominate, of course, Eastern Europe and continue to march on even beyond Ukraine. And in this instance, Donald Trump is now trying to have it both ways. He wants to be a little tough with Putin because he doesn't want to get embarrassed, but he also doesn't want to support Ukraine as it should. And so I think it's just bad, erratic, and irresponsible foreign policy. He has no real vision for what he wants to do. He acts tough one day, the next day he's weak. He likes Putin one day, the next day he doesn't. Just like any sort of policy, where it's the tariff policy, his economic policy, he has no idea and no real vision for the country. He just weakens America.
And when you have such an incoherent vision on the Russia-Ukraine war, that only bolsters Vladimir Putin's position in the war. We've seen him multiple times say he didn't really know about a strike that happened on Ukraine. And at first I didn't believe that, but then we heard he's not actually doing his daily briefing. So there's a chance this dude doesn't actually know about some of the strikings that are going on, or he knows and he's just staying blind to it all. What's your prescription? So what Biden did is he froze Putin out of the global order and armed Ukraine to the teeth to give them leverage. I think it's a good position to take. What would you do at this point if you were like Trump's advisor for Ukraine?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. I mean, I think the Biden approach is working. I mean, I think that we should have led and continue. We should be leading a coalition of allies across the world in ensuring that Ukraine has what it needs to defend itself. And we should be, in any way that we can, punishing Putin through directed sanctions on himself and the oligarchs that are in Russia that are funding much of the war, and to ensure that they don't have the resources then to actually grow their military capacity. But Donald Trump has ensured the U.S. now retreats from this conflict. And we know that at the end of the day, it's going to cost Americans dramatically more not to be engaged at this moment. A stronger Russia that has no values as it relates to world order or peace will cost Americans, our economy, and world safety in the future, which is why so much of the world is united against Putin. This is a authoritarian dictator that harms his own people, that invades countries with no rhyme or reason. We should be opposed to him and Russia in a way that unites the world.
I can't believe we have to be saying this. I can't believe we have to be like going back to the basics of 20 years ago and saying that Vladimir Putin is not a good dude. Why would we play sanctions when we can just type out tweets that say, stop Vlad, please stop Vlad?
No, exactly. I mean, and it's a joke. I mean, his tweets or whatever, his true social rants. I mean, that's not an American president. I mean, this guy's a disaster. Accepting a foreign gift, using it after the presidency. It is blatant. It's a blatant gift and blatant corruption and against the Constitution. That we know. But the idea that we're going to have an American president fly around in Air Force One, being a gift from a foreign government, particularly one that's so adversarial to so many of our allies and around the world, that's where the American president is going to fly out of, is a gift from Qatar. I mean, it's crazy that is where we are right now as a country, and so much of the Republican Party essentially has decided to go full MAGA.
You'll be on like a plane from Qatar, on a phone from Russia, wearing clothes from, I don't know, who's another enemy that we have? Just all he does is placate our enemies while being very, very mean to our allies. Like there was a tweet yesterday. It was insane. So next to the Vladimir Putin tweet that Trump sent out yesterday, below that was him talking about 50% tariffs on the EU. So like the dichotomy between the way he treats our allies versus our enemies is wild.
I mean, Canada. I mean, what kind of an idiot tweets out constantly that Canada should be our 51st state? I mean, the level of disrespect. I mean, Canada has traditionally been one of our closest allies. They share our northern border. They are part of our culture in the Americas. They're our neighbor, and we're goading them because we want them to be the 51st state. It's just ridiculous.
It's wild. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it, Representative.
Yeah, anytime, man.